Okay, in this video, I'm going to be looking at Lesson 12, C from the grammar. That's page 67 and 68, it looks like. I think D is probably going to have to be its own file. So if we are able to add D, I'll add it back up here to the top. Number 1, mei filii auxilium misero sero dabant. Mei filii, number 1, mei filii auxilium misero sero dabant. So mea filii, to me, my immediate go-to is nominative plural. First couple words of the sentence, followed by what looks like an accusative singular. I have an NT, and then I've got my long O's, second declension, that I can use for a dative indirect object. Why use the O's and not the AE? Well, if these aren't the indirect object and mei filii is, what would I do with the misero sero? Best I could do would be an ablative without a preposition, means, or instrument. You don't have people as means or instrument. It's either a thing or an animal. So I definitely go subject. So my daughters, because remember it's nominative plural, bont, were or used to, were giving. Direct object comes next, that's our auxilium. Help, indirect object, I'm going to use to, the miserable servant or slave. Number 2, ob belli periculum multa tella paraverant. Paraverant. So ob is a preposition that takes the accusative. So once that ob opens up the accusative prepositional phrase, I look for my next accusative, which is going to be periculum. So I know that that belly is part of that prepositional phrase. And in fact, I know that it's got to be a genitive because I can't have a nominative in the middle of a prepositional phrase. I can't think of a single reason why or how that would work. So on account of the danger of war, or because of, on account of, ab and propter, both prepositions that take the accusative both mean on account of or because of. On account of the danger, so I fill in my, so this of is part of the ob, the danger being the accusative object of that preposition. Now I bring in my possession of war. Multa tella. So this can be accusative or nominative plural because tellum telli is neuter. So on account of war, many weapons had been preparing. That's like a Disney kind of a thing. That would be anthropomorphizing the weapons. They didn't prepare themselves. And this is not a passive verb, so they can't have been prepared by someone. So instead, we're going to go with a pronoun subject. They had prepared many weapons. Number 3. Ludosne, oh, so we have a question. Ludosne, that's what that ne tells me. In opido, hodie, spectabatis. Spectabatis. So, batis, you plural were watching. Today, were you plural watching? Ludos could be schools, but I'm betting games in town. So, were you plural looking at or watching the games, accusative plural direct object, bring in our adverb today, and then our place where, in town. Number 4, Agricolae magnam frumenti copiam ex agro portabant. Agricolae magnam frumenti copiam ex agro portabant. So, look along in your book. I'm only going to write the English. I'm going to see how it works. I think it may help us match our time a little. Agricolae portabant. So the farmers were carrying magnam copiam, a large supply. Now, after that supply, copiam, we often get a genitive. And I love how in the reading, magnam frumenti copiam, they put the genitive right between the adjective and the noun of the direct object. They just like ab belli periculum, they put that genitive right into the middle. A large supply of grain, frumenti, ex agro, out of the field. Agro, non agris. Number 5, num nautae miseri ab insula nagaverint. So num versus none. Num versus none. Num expects a no. So we make a negative statement and then say, are they? So what's our negative statement? Nautae miseri, the wretched or miserable sailors, orint, nagawerint, the orint, aroarisarit, arimisaritis that is future perfect third person. The wretched sailors will not have sailed. So will have sailed I got from the no, now we ga werent. The not comes in part from the num, right? But this is only half of the num. We get the rest in a minute. The wretched sailors will not have sailed ab insula, from the island. And now we do the question part, the rest of the num. Will they? Tomorrow, the wretched sailors will not have sailed from the island, will they? No, they will not leave until they will not sail until next week. Number 6, feminae puellas in campum saepa convocaverant. Feminae convocaverant. The women, feminae convocaverant, had often saepa called. Arant, pluperfect, had called together. That's what the con part of the will go. Had called together, I need an accusative direct object, puellas, the girls, plural for the us, in campum. So I have in plus the accusative placed to which, into the field or meadow, campum, singular. Number 7. Viri signum proili tuba jam dedero. Jam dedero. Now or already, jam dedero. I will or shall have do dari dedi given. What will I have given? The battle signal, signum proili. Who am I giving it to? I need a dative, indirect object. So I have 2 things I can choose from. Viris could be dative plural. Tuba, tuba's got to be ablative, right? It would have to be to buy. So, to the men, tuba, ablative without a preposition, means or instrument. I'm going to use with the or my trumpet. Number 8. Cross, tomorrow. Pueri gladii serum malam vulnerabunt. Vulnerabunt, they will. Who they? The boys. Pueri. The boys will wound. Now I need my direct object. The evil or bad slave or servant, gladiis, with the or maybe their swords. Ablative, no preposition, means or instrument, with their swords. Tum legatus bonum fortunam nostrorum nuntiaverat. Number 9. Tum, then, legatus, the envoy, or legate. What did he do? Nuntiaverat, pluperfect, arat, aramarasarat, aramasarat. The envoy had announced bonum fortunam, the good fortune, nostrorum, noster, nostra, nostrum, our, but it's plural genitive, of our what? Substantive, of our men. It could be the good fortune of our things, but I don't think so. I think men makes more sense. You have a battle, he runs back to the town to let you know the good fortune of our men. Nuntii viros imparva vila hieri expectaverunt. So, arunt, e isti it, imus istus arunt. The messengers have or did wait. The messengers waited yesterday, Harry. Waited for whom? For viros, for the men. That for is part of the waited. It's not a dative for. Waited for the men in the small farmhouse. Okay, that brings me to the end of C. The end of C. I think we'll call it good there, and I will do D separately. D separately.